Prologue. For a long time, she had been captivated by his presence, ever since that fateful moment when he breathed life into her existence. Her eyes fluttered open once again, filled with anticipation as she gazed at her beloved. His sleepy visage beckoned her, igniting a desire to reach out and caress his masculine chin, his neck, and those strong shoulders. Her trembling hand longed to explore further, to lose itself in a fervent embrace. But she contented herself with the little she had. Merely seeing him, feeling his presence, and existing alongside him was her ultimate happiness, an invaluable prize bestowed upon her in advance for the forthcoming trials and tribulations of life. Love's exhilaration tinged her thoughts with gentle hues. He lazily stretched, seemingly flaunting his sculpted torso. The soft fabric of athletic pants clung to his well-defined legs, accentuating his enticing rear end. She had been enamored with him from the very first moment she laid eyes on him, from the instant he gave her life. Back then, he wore a frown, an expression of anger etched with a deep wrinkle between his aristocratic eyebrows, which somehow only added to his sublime beauty. Lost in contemplation, his lips pressed together with fervor as he unwittingly breathed life into a tender, beautiful soul. Tall and statuesque, his features exuded masculinity and determination, appealing to women's hearts. His slightly stubbled cheeks and gray eyes, resembling autumn rain, turned heads wherever he went. That was when she fell under his spell, surrendering to the depths of his oceanic eyes, never to resurface. Yet, as he looked at her, he failed to see her, untouched by her emotions and her exhilaration. He mistook her for someone she was not, unaware of the captivating and vibrant soul that resided within her. Sadness brushed against her innocent heart, while tears carried electric pulses from her fiery eyes. Almost suffocating beneath the weight of these emotions, she emerged from the tumultuous stream of memories. Once again, she found herself in the bathroom. Her lover held a razor against her soapy cheeks. Watching him shave with a serious expression had always amused her. The meticulous movements of his hands sent shivers down her spine, and every fiber of her being yearned for him. How she longed to be that razor, gliding gently over his tingling stubble, drawing nearer and nearer to his skin. A quiver in her hand caused a thin trickle of blood to escape, tracing a dangerous path down her face. Her heart felt as if it had been pierced by a sharp blade, and despair overwhelmed her as she suffered not only for him, but also for her own powerlessness. Every moment of his life, every emotion, she experienced alongside him. A fleeting grimace of pain momentarily distorted his face, evoking a wince from her. Yet she forgave him effortlessly, for he remained unaware of her existence, and how her little heart pounded wildly at the mere sight of him. When she closed her eyes, all she saw was his beloved image, cherished and nurtured within her. But he was a fighter, a man of strong will, and serenity returned to his body. Shaving meticulously, he applied lotion to the wounded area. She watched him tenderly, yearning to provide him with the warmth and love so essential in the complexities and treacheries of life. She wanted to envelop him in her radiant happiness. In a quick and impulsive motion, he discarded his clothes, fixating his gaze upon his reflection. The mirror showcased his splendor, and she devoured him with her euphoric gaze. His perfect physique imprinted itself forcefully in her eager memory. Lithe legs, a chiseled torso adorned with defined muscles, and silky chest hair. These elements sparked butterflies within her, their delicate wings barely brushing against his heated skin, stirring and tempting, fueling her ethereal daydreams. He wrinkled his brow unhappily. What could possibly displease him in such a flawless figure? She longed to tell him about his beauty, to express her feelings, to convey how his mere presence caressed her eyes and filled her with lightness and joy. The reality of her dream embarrassed her, yet she yearned to share her sentiments. Indeed, she had never witnessed the sun, nor had she beheld the dawn that held promises of enchantment and magic. The dying of the day, consumed by the fiery glow of the sunset, leaving behind soulless ashes. Such phenomena remained unfamiliar, meaningless mysteries to her. She lived solely through him, learning love, happiness, hatred, and pain through his experiences, through his life. When she opened her eyes once more, she found him at the doorway, heaving a sigh of relief, his grateful gaze meeting hers. He discarded his swim trunks and stepped into the shower, completely naked. If she were capable of blushing, a flush of shame would have flooded her cheeks long ago. But shame was far from her thoughts now. The impropriety and ethics of her voyeuristic act escaped her. She reveled in his presence, captivated by the allure of his naked, strong physique. The first splashes of cool, invigorating water glistened on his body like silvery dewdrops. He relaxed, humming a simple tune, as the refreshing streams cascaded relentlessly upon him. Crystal droplets caressed his supple form, dissolving into the moment, bestowing tenderness and purity upon her. Damp, tousled hair from his slumber only accentuated his intoxicating sexuality. How she yearned to be the water, to flow freely over him, unencumbered and unashamed, to explore every inch of him with defiant passion, merging with him in an ecstatic union. Yet her role remained that of an observer, an outsider so intimately acquainted with his life, his happiness. She knew that once he stepped out of the shower, he would make his way to the kitchen for a steaming cup of fragrant coffee. The aroma alone heightened her awareness of him. Soon after, his girlfriend would arrive, and they would make love, an all-encompassing celestial union she would never be able to experience. The sounds of their lovemaking, their scents, their emotions, she would absorb them all, tormenting her fading consciousness. He glanced at the time, muttered a curse under his breath, and reached for a towel. In his haste, he didn't bother drying himself. Instead, he loosely wrapped it around his hips and exited the bathroom. The last image she captured was that of clear droplets clinging to his marble-like chest. The slam of the front door jolted through her weakening veins like an electric shock. Whispered words of love, the tantalizing, tinkling laughter that transformed into moans of ecstasy from their mind-blowing caresses, all of it slowly extinguished her. The weight of hopelessness and longing finally shattered her tender heart. With a small click, the light in the room went out. She would never see him again, never bask in his maddening scent, never hear his familiar voice. She was gone. And he continued on his path, forever unaware of the potent love from a disembodied soul. And so the life of one lovesick light bulb ended, a life filled with loneliness and meaninglessness.
Thank you for watching. I hope it was interesting. See you in the next story. Goodbye.